everybody, and welcome back once again to my F123 My Team Career Mode campaign. We are now at the Spanish Grand Prix, and if you thought Monaco brought a bit of pain with just how bad of a race I drove through my own mistakes and other misfortunes, then it doesn't get any better here. So we qualify for Spain. It wasn't good enough to get into the top 10. We end up starting P14 on the grid. But you know what? I'm feeling like opportunities could come to us. So it's lights out and away we go. Look at the start we got. Straight away from Magnussen and what I believe was Ocon. And we're now trying to have a look at Gasly. But Gasly's got the inside covered beautifully. Again, another little look up the inside. But Gasly keeping his car there. I'm going around the outside though, better exit up into P10. Up next is Valtteri Bottas. How are we going to get through here? Look at the run we're getting on him, but it's not going to be quite enough to get him into turn 4. However, we are going to have a look down the inside of the left-hander here. It is going to be a dive, and we are going to be through up into P9. And our next look is at Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, who's tucked up right behind Sergio Perez, so it's not the most strongest of starts for the Red Bull drivers, but I'm now trying to find a way to capitalise on the battling in front, because I think Sergio Perez is having a look at Lando Norris for P6. He's going down the inside, and I think Perez has got past Norris, and now Verstappen is compromised, which means we can have a look at Verstappen down the inside here. Verstappen has not got a great exit. He's now stuck behind Norris. I'm sticking one down the inside, and we have got past Max Verstappen and up into P8. Now we're going to have a look at Lando Norris, but Norris is looking very, very defensive there, and I think getting past the McLaren could be difficult. We could have had a look there, but I thought better of it. And towards the end of the lap, we are dropping back a little bit from Lando Norris, and Max Verstappen's getting ready to have another look, especially with how wide we went out of the last corner there. And Verstappen getting through on the pit straight, but I'm going to tuck back into that slipstream and try and have a secondary go around the outside of turn 1, and I take that place straight back from Verstappen. So up back into P8. This is quite a fun race, and we are pulling quite comfortably clear of Pierre Gasly in the Alpine too, so the pace is good for us to get points, but unfortunately the guys ahead of us are getting away because I am racing Verstappen quite hard. And look, we've got another half second on Pierre Gasly at the end of that lap. So it's looking like a race where points are a strong possibility here. Even though we have just lost the place to Verstappen, I'm hoping once he battles Lando Norris, that brings them both back into play. But I don't want to waste too much time fighting the obviously faster Red Bull, and it's not going to end well for us, unfortunately. A race which looked like points were very much on the table. Our engine has let us down, and it is the ERS component that has let us down in a big way. It has failed, caused the car to fail. We have to stop. We're out of the race. So what looked like potentially a strong race for us has ended in pain. George Russell went on to win it and set the fastest lap. Leclerc got second. Verstappen made his way up to third in the end. And in fourth place is our championship leader, Fernando Alonso. Lance Stroll gets fifth in the Mercedes, with Perez, Magnussen, Norris, Hulkenberg and Ocon scoring the rest of the points on the table. But I feel like we could have gotten ahead of the McLarens today. I feel like P7 may have been the best we can do, given the pace we had, but that still would have been a strong result and some good points. We move on now to Canada, where we qualified P12. But it's a very strong qualifying for our teammate Dennis Hauger, who manages to get into the top 11, although unfortunately there he's been blocked by the very slow starting Nick De Vries in the Aston Martin. But around the outside of him we go, and we're going to take the inside on Charles Leclerc as well and move ourselves into P9. So it's a really nice start here as we settle in behind Pierre Gasly. It is damp here in Canada, but the conditions are set to improve any minute now. So it's going to be a changeable conditions race where anything goes. And I'm now getting ready to have a look at Pierre Gasly. We're going to take a dive, and we have actually, we've understeered into him a little bit there, but we've got up into P8, and we're now chasing down the other Alpine of Esteban Ocon. and Max Verstappen is ahead of him in P6. So again, not the strongest of starts with Verstappen. I've skated straight wide at the hairpin there, which has cost me a bit of time and momentum. But I am looking at trying to shape up on Esteban Ocon and see if we can fight him. Is there a fight there? I very much think so. But for now, we slot into P8 and just await the change of conditions. They come a few laps later. We didn't make any further inroads on Ocon, but we stayed right behind him. But this is quite annoying. We've got Liam Lawson now between us both, who is still on intermediate. So Lawson is going to cost me a little bit of time here unless we can get past the Williams. And I'm going to look at doing it around here, but Lawson, no, he's just parked his car in the right place and made it very difficult for us. So DRS zone it is. We use DRS, open that rear wing up, and it's going to be a dive down the inside here. And the superior grip we have on the dry tyres allowing us to move up a place. And Ocon and Verstappen are being held up by a car on slicks, which I believe to be the McLaren of Kevin Magnussen. So he's backing them all up. And a look on Ocon might have been on there if I hadn't gone sideways. But again, what was potentially a very strong race has ended in heartbreak as we have another car failure. 2 in a row. What am I doing wrong? Because once again, it's the ERS component of the car that has failed. So it does lead me to think, am I doing something wrong? But it's been a few races of pain now. We didn't score in Monaco and we haven't scored in the last 2 races. So it's really not the next few races that we would have wanted to have, especially as we were starting to build momentum and get our way forwards. But it is what it is. Alonso taking the win of the Canadian Grand Prix, Carlos Sainz getting himself on the podium, and George Russell finishing 3rd. It's Alex Albon in the Haas who finishes 4th. What a drive he's had. Brilliant race for Albon. Lance Stroll getting up to 5th, Charles Leclerc finishing 6th, and then it's Verstappen, Ocon, De Vries and Gasly rounding out the top 10 there. So Alonso extending his championship lead with that win, and Alex Albon giving Haas a much needed shot in the arm for their season. And Fernando Alonso now 32 points clear of Max Verstappen, 38 clear of Perez, and Sainz just keeping himself within distance as well. But as you can see, we are now 11th and 12th in the Drivers' Championship. I've fallen out of the top 10, and it's just been misery for the last few races. So I'm really hoping that next time out we can start having we can have a better race. I believe next time will be Austria, and we will have a sprint weekend there. So a good chance for us to gain some more points. Hopefully we won't have any further car issues in Austria. But yeah, it's been a couple of weekends of pain, and I'm really not happy with that. But thank you for watching anyway, guys. Don't forget to leave a like, hit subscribe if you're new and you want to see more content from me. And until the next time, I've been Joe, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care.